spoken to you guys in a full week, so like I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting how to do this. Hi, like I feel like it's been so long. I mean, I don't know when this is going up. I really don't know when this is going up, but I haven't picked up the camera in like a full week. I feel like it was much needed. Like I needed to give myself like a little mental rest, because sometimes I really run out of things to talk about. Like sometimes I really have nothing to say, so then I'm just like you know what I'm saying? So like I needed the week off to like let my brain have nothing to say. And now I'm back, and now I want to share so much. Like I literally have been waiting for you guys. Today's Wednesday. Also, sidebar, I feel like you guys wouldn't have noticed, but just in case you did notice, yes, I did cut my hair. Here's the thing, right? I know that I gave myself utter crap for cutting my hair before. I didn't cut it. It does look really short. It looks really short. Honestly, like it didn't grow that much the previous month, okay? So like technically I didn't cut off a bunch. I just cut off a little bit more of what it was. But here's my reasoning. Okay, my ends were so split. I had such split ends, and like they were up high. Like they were up high. And with split ends, you really gotta nip them in the bud before they like go up to your entire root, and now you got like unhealthy hair. So I was like, you know what? Let me just deal with these split ends, which is literally always my excuse for chopping off my hair. I think I really have like an illness. I have a hair chopping illness. I don't know what it is, but I see the scissors and I just go red. But honestly, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh. But then I did this little side part. I feel like I look like a 1950s movie character or something like that. Like I look like I just got out of a 1950s hair salon. You know, it's kind of growing on me. Like I feel like it might age me up. Like, does it age me up? Let me know. It is currently 10:42. Okay, I wanted to leave the house at literally 8:30. I don't know how I get here. I do know how I get here. I went to bed at 1:30, so like I couldn't wake up at 8, but it's 10:42. I'm literally leaving the house now. Like I need to go now. Today's Wednesday. It's December 6th. I am gonna go to a cafe. It's like my last week of school. Like it's like no, next week is my last week. No, this week is pretty much my last week. My last week of like okay, I don't know. It's like my last 2 weeks of school. So, you know, everything's dying down, but then it's like finals. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like my finals are really just like papers. So like and they're not due this week. So I'm gonna deal with that in a later week. But I do have my final 2 discussion board posts to do. I did not watch the film for the discussion board post that was due last night at 11:59. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get to the cafe. I have to like watch the film, maybe skim it, I don't know, and then do my discussion board post. Do I have other work to do? Like I have other work that I could do, but the main reason I wanted to go to the cafe and the main reason that I've been waiting for you guys is because I want to start Powerless. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. It's this new, well, it's not new actually. It's not new at all, but it's like really popular right now on like Book Talk. It's like a YA fantasy. I think it's a fantasy romance. And what is the blurb of it? I'm gonna buy it on my Kindle. Ugh. Okay, I can't read you the full blurb because it's just way too long. Moral of the story: there's a girl named Peyton and there's a guy named Kai. And Peyton, I believe, is a human, and Kai is like an elite, and then but like the elites hunt the humans, and Peyton enters in this like trial thing. I don't know, but the romance is between them. That's all I know. People say it's like the Hunger Games. They say it's like the Red Queen series, the Red Queen series, which I didn't read the Red Queen series. I always wanted to, but I didn't read it. Yeah, I'm gonna read this because it's like my most anticipated read for this month. Like for just like right now. Like I'm itching and I was about to say itching and burning. I'm itching to read it because like every single person is talking about it, and I'm the type of reader, like if all the girlies are talking about it, you've convinced me. If every single person is talking about it, I will pick up the book. I will pick up the book. That doesn't necessarily determine whether or not I'll like the book, because there's a lot of books that like everybody talks about that I read and I'm just like, oh, well, it didn't do it for me, but it's fine. But I feel like Powerless I feel like I'm going to eat it up, and that's why I've been waiting, because like I was gonna start it yesterday, but then I was like, wait, no, like I'm waiting for y'all because I need to start it with y'all so that y'all can come on me with this journey, because I really feel like I can finish it in like 3 days. Like I think it's like 300 something pages, and if it's really fast paced and I'm dedicated, I think I can finish it within this vlog. I'm gonna go to the cafe, do a little bit of work, and then start reading Powerless. I've realized this new like reading thing that I like to do. I mean, I'm gonna try it out. I feel like I like reading on my Kindle more, but like maybe only for certain books, but I feel like I like reading on my Kindle. I read a lot faster on my Kindle because I get less distracted. Like I'm just like, and I'm reading. But I feel like at the end of the month, once I finish my TBR on my Kindle, I want to buy the books. And then like the Kindle has an option where you can like do highlights and annotations, and then you could go back into it and look at the page numbers for your annotations. So I think like I want to buy the books at the end of the month and then annotate them afterwards, because I don't like annotating while like annotating like in the book while I'm reading, because I want my annotations to be like perfect, and it just breaks the whole rhythm and the whole vibe. That's an option. Obviously that's a lot more expensive, because that means I would be buying every book both on my Kindle and paper copy. So we might not do it for every single one, but I feel like for books that I know I'm really gonna love, when reading it on the Kindle, then I'll buy it in paper form. But if the book was like meh, then I don't need to buy it in paper form. You get what I'm saying? You know, I'm just excited. Like everybody, I'm just excited. I feel like this is gonna be a good romantasy. Everybody says there's a lot of angst. This is the fit. Honestly, like I wear the same thing every freaking day of my life. But this is like my favorite uniform lately. I got this new top though. You might be like, Maya, new? Like you wear a black long sleeve top like every other day. But I got this new one. It's from My Outfit Online, and I feel like this is gonna be my favorite because it's like double lined here, so it keeps me like nice and warm. But then the sleeve is like so soft, but also like breathable and airy. I don't know. I just like it. And then my go-to Urban Outfitters BDD jeans. I'm so sad that when I first bought these jeans, I didn't buy them in every colorway, because little did I know that these would be the best fitting jeans I would ever put on in my lifetime, and I can never replicate this experience. Like Urban Outfitters did their biggest one with these jeans, and they don't even sell them anymore, and I can't find them in other colors because they don't sell them anymore. So I'm disappointed, because if I had this in like a dark wash, and then a black, and then a gray, I would be solidified. I would never have to buy another pair of pants ever. And then I think, like, why is the sun acting up? I think I want to wear my like sophisticated girl coat. You know? Like my little trench. Just that way, like, you know, she's going to a cafe, but like, she's mysterious. Who is she? Is she a businesswoman? Maybe. Is she a 20-year-old college student? Maybe. You don't know. Where did I get this one from? I think I got this one from In Other Stories. I don't know. I can link it. I got it last season, and I didn't wear it nearly enough, but I feel like it really goes with my style right now. Like I'm really just into like simple, basic, but like very like put together. Like that's been my vibe lately. It's what's like made me feel like most confident. So even though like my jeans are so wrinkly at the bottom here because of the Uggs. And then should I wear the scarf? I want to get some more chunky scarves because I feel like they just put the winter outfit together. Like I saw this girl on the train and she had this like red chunky scarf that was just like so, it was like the perfect red, like pomegranate red. It was like the perfect amount of chunkiness, and I was just like, I left the cafe, and even though I had the ham and cheese croissant, I think I want to go to this spot that's been on like my food guide for a while, because technically am I in Chinatown? I don't know. Yeah, I am in Chinatown. And there's I have so many food spots saved in my food map guide in this area, and I just haven't gotten the chance to go to any of them. So I think I'm gonna go to one of them now, even though like I don't need to purchase food because I just had a croissant, but I'm just gonna do what I want to do. guys, I literally just stepped out the bathroom and I'm like, hopefully you can see it. It's snowing. It's snowing. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm so excited, knowing damn well that means it's freezing outside. And I also have to wear a hood now. But it's snowing! I feel like such a terrible influence because remember all that work I said I was gonna get done at the cafe yesterday? Guess how much of it got done? None of it, okay? None of it. I didn't do either of my discussion boards. And it's just so hard, like, you know, like end of semester, it's not even blues. It's just like end of semester, I'm over it, okay? Which is like bad. I don't wanna set a bad example, okay? Do your work, do your homework. But I'm just like, I also know that these discussion boards are worth 5% of my grade, like in total. And I've only missed like 2 or 3 of them. But I'm like, do I still want to do it? I have to watch the film for sure. I got 10 minutes into the film last night and I was just like, Like, watching films for me, like, I can do it when I'm in class because I'm like forced to be there. Like, I'm forced to sit through it and then I can get through it. But like watching a film on my own, like there's something about me and movies. Like, I just really don't vibe with movies. Like, I would rather watch 4 episodes of a show than sit and watch a full 2-hour movie. Unless it's like in the theater, like, I don't know, because like when I went to see the Hunger Games, I ate that up. I'm really enjoying Powerless. I'm only 50 pages in. So I only got through 50 pages yesterday, which isn't much. Like, I feel like, honestly, on my Kindle, I could really read like 100 pages a day. But I just have to not get distracted. And as soon as I get distracted, then it's like I can't, and like then I run out of like ample reading time. Like, I feel like if I really set up like 3 hours, like it probably takes me, I would say, what, like 4 hours to read 100 pages? Is that true? Like, if I'm like completely uninterrupted, I feel like 4 hours I can bang out 100 pages. So yeah, I'm a little bit upset that I only got to 50 and there's like 500 pages in this book, like 400 and something. So this is a long book, but I like the beginning. I didn't know it was gonna be dual POV, but I really like dual POV, and it's like dual POV, like first person, which is a cool vibe. I like that for, let me put you closer to me, come closer to me. I like that for romantices because, or like romances in general, because I think it just adds to the entertainment. Like, getting something from the woman's perspective and like how they react, and then getting something from the man's perspective and like how they see things differently and like stuff like that, and like what's going through their head while the other person, like, I just like being able to jump in between each person's head. And yeah, and right now I don't hate the main character. One thing that's like I really struggle with reading books is that me and female main characters, sometimes the way that they're written, they really just irk my nerve and irk my soul. Like, sometimes they're too overly sarcastic and witty to the point where it's like, okay, sometimes we just gotta, you know? And I'm like, they be making problems for themselves like solely based on their like sarcasm and wittiness, and I'm like, okay, like, we need to be so for real right now. And like, sometimes they're so like nonchalant that I'm just like, oh my god, like, are you a robot? So I'm always like afraid of if I'm gonna like a female main character or not. But I'm liking this female main character. I'm liking the guy. We did have like an entire like few sentences of describing each other's eye color, and you know, I get it, it sounded very pretty. But like, when people, I think just like, this is just my reading preference, I like when descriptions are very like cut and dry, like physical descriptions. Like, if you tell me like her eyes were blue, very blue, well, obviously like not like that, but like her eyes were a very bright blue, something like that, and like her skin was pale white, or like her skin was a dark brown. One of my biggest things is when I'm reading a book, when they describe somebody as tan, I'm like, are they tan like brown or are they black? You know, like, are they black? Like, I feel like every time, I think I had this issue with Fourth Wing. where I was reading the entire fourth wing and I was like, wait, one of these characters is a black woman? Nobody told me that. And I feel like it's because I think I just need an author to be like, if somebody's black, I just need you to be like, their skin was a dark brown. Now I got it. Now I know. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like they want to dance around and they want to tiptoe and they want to be like, it was tan like the mocha latte of my dreams. Now I'm confused. Now I'm just confused. And that's just my personal preference with like descriptions in books, like describing like hair and eye color and skin color, like all of the stuff it's not like as important to me, so then I just kind of like skim and I'm just like and then when I go back at the end of the book and I'm like, wait, or when I look at the fan art, I'm like, wait, their hair was red? When did you say that? So yeah, that's just a me thing.
Mistress Iona Peasant, Darha Island, August 18, 1900. Association. If fear clouds your decision, together we must call out to higher force.
Brooklyn College, Flatbush Avenue, that are 2 trains.
I like to put on these like read with me things. They're like an hour or so long normally. Oh wait, this one has no music. It's just rain. Oh, well normally they have music. The ones that I normally do like have music, but I'll try this one out. This one will just be rain sounds. And I don't know, there's something about it. I like, oh wait, why were you zooming in? I like, you know, the ambiance, and I also like feeling like I'm not like alone sitting here just like reading and it's like silent and I'm like, I look up and I'm like it's a little spooky. It's a little spooky. So I like to put this on to kind of like set the vibe, and also it's a good like time marker. Like I know I have an hour of just straight reading, and once this video ends I could decide whether I read for another hour or if I'm done for the day. Okay, sidebar, but wouldn't it be so funny if like do you ever just have those moments when you're reading like, oh, like if this just went like a little bit differently, like the book would end. Like there's this one line, this isn't a spoiler, by the way, I won't be spoiling anything, I promise, but there's this one line where one of the characters says, by way of politely answering, I spin and throw a knife at him. It just barely skims past the side of his head, sinking into the target far behind him with a thud. Wouldn't it be so funny if like they did that and it just like that one time that their perfect aim just missed and the blade accidentally went into the person's skull? And then it's like, oh, book over. Like, you accidentally killed this person. Like, oops. Am I the only one having that thought? Like, they had the same thing in Divergent when it was like, I don't know if that was actually in the books, but do you remember that scene in Divergent where where Four has to throw the blades at Triss, and Triss is like standing at the targets, and she like volunteers as tribute. And like Four's throwing them, and he's like throwing them perfectly, but then he just like slightly grazes her ear. What if he like just sucked that day and accidentally lodged the blade into Triss's skull? We wouldn't have had a I don't know why that's where my brain goes, but that's where my brain goes. I'm just like, oh. This is giving me nostalgia to Throne of Glass. And like, the characters reminding me so much of Selena. It's good though, I'm eating it, but like, why am I kind of like kicking my feet and giggling for the wrong man? Cause like, Prince Kit? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna regret saying that later. But Prince Kit? Okay, I have to look up fan art. I always have to do this. Anytime I read, I have to look up fan art. Because like I said, I just be skimming over those descriptions. So honestly, I have no idea what these people look like. But I'm also always scared. Wait. I'm like always scared that I'm gonna catch a spoiler. Oh. Wait, she's so Selena coded. She got the silver hair. And Kaya is giving me like Dorian vibes. Okay, I can like see her vibe. This is how she's supposed to be. So I'll have to like picture that. And then they're like, this is how Kaya is supposed to be. So like, kind of picture that. It's helpful because evidently I don't got no imagination up in my brain to think of it myself. It's just a little complex. Ugh. Why are you tilted? Are you clean? Okay. I made it to page 100. So we're taking a quick break. Honestly, it's only 10 o'clock, so I can kind of read till like 11. I have a 9 a.m. tomorrow, so like I want to be in bed by 12. But yeah, so I probably have an hour left of reading. I would like to make some ice cream because since I can't have hot cocoa, I need something with chocolate. And honestly, I went to the place that I normally get my Chunky Monkey ice cream from, which if you didn't know, Chunky Monkey is my favorite ice cream. However, when I went there, they didn't have their shipment in. Their shipment didn't come in. So then I had to go to a different store and get the Haagen-Dazs Butter Pecan, because if you didn't know, Butter Pecan is my second favorite ice cream. And I can kind of turn it into its own Chunky Monkey. I take the Butter Pecan. Okay. I take a banana. I really only like to eat green bananas. Once the banana starts to turn yellow, it's automatically obsolete. Automatically, why are we eating yellow bananas? They taste like a bowl of sugar. A mashed bowl of sugar. Like, there's nothing appetizing to it. Nothing appetizing about it to me. I take my banana. I chop her. Chop her into small pieces. Okay? Just chopping. Chopping. And then I chop her the other way. And then I chop her the other way. And then I chop her a little bit more. Okay, that's good. And then my ice cream. Honestly, butter pecan ice cream, I don't know, man. There's just something about it. I'm really like a crunch, a texture type of girl. I like the smooth, and then all of a sudden I'm biting down on a pecan. Like, what an experience. I guess I'm finishing this whole thing out. Yeah. But, oh, and then the star of the show, Hershey's syrup. And I go crazy with the Hershey's syrup. But it's like my favorite part. Kind of mash the banana in combination with the butter pecan. Get it real mixed. Okay. And then Hershey's. Really douse her. Douse her in there. Perfect. Perfect. Y'all, I think I'm doing this wrong. Because why every time Kit comes on the page, I'm kicking my feet and giggling. Like, love Kai, but Kit, I don't know, there's something about Kit. Okay, I'm sorry, last update of the night, because I literally need to, it's 11:48, I need to go in the shower. But reading Kit, please tell me that some of y'all have read this book so that, like, I don't feel alone. Reading Kit, the reason I'm realizing that I love him so much is he feels so Dylan O'Brien coded. Or not Dylan O'Brien. He feels so Style Stilinski coded. But like not Style Stilinski, but like kind of Style Stilinski in like a quirky like golden retriever, but also a little bit of 𝐈𝐍𝐿𝐢 mixed into him. Actually, no, he does give me 𝐈𝐍𝐿𝐢 to a T. I think that'll be my last comment for the night. I should stop. I just finished the chapter. I should stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm at chapter 18, well, chapter 19 now. Page 150. Like, kids! What are you doing to me? The crumbs that Lauren Roberts is giving me for Kit, I'm like eating each one of them up. Like my highlights are all just Kit dialogue. It is not okay. All right, we made it. We're back. I want to apologize for my dark room. You know how it goes. I'm a cheapskate. All I have is LEDs, no real lamp, and I have this candle that you can't see, but it's burning. Maybe I'll put it over here so you can kind of see it, but I have to remember not to put my hand in it, okay? So we got a candle. That's like ambiance. Am I gonna block it? I don't want to block it, so I'm gonna move you over here so you can see the candle. Don't mind my appearance. It's 11:30 on a Saturday night. I'm here to talk about the book. I told you guys that this was gonna take me 3 days to read. I was like, yeah, I'll probably finish this in 3 days. I'm delusional. I'm so delusional because I am a slow reader. 2 factors made this take, honestly, what was it, 7 or 5 days? I don't remember when I started this, but it feels like it's probably been like 6 days. 2 factors. A, it's finals week. I literally just handed in my last final last night at 3 a.m. Okay, I don't know what I expected, but not to read a 500, I think the problem was that I didn't realize it was 500 pages. I don't know why I thought I could read a 500 page fantasy book in 3 days during finals week. Secondly, I'm scared. Let's just talk about this. Let's talk about Powerless. I don't have the book here to show you, but I've got the Goodreads up, okay? The Goodreads is up. I don't need Goodreads reviews because I'm scared to give my opinion on that type of permit. I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. My rating of Powerless that I've landed on, and I finished the book probably like 4 hours ago and I've had time. I've watched some TikToks, read some reviews, gone back and forth, thought of my own opinions, and I'm gonna give the book a 3.5 stars. That is the rating that I've landed on. Now, I am so terrified to tell you guys how I felt about this book, because like I said in the beginning, this is the most hyped up book, at least for the past few months. Probably not as hyped as Fourth Wing, but the second closest hyped up book probably this year, or maybe Divine Rivals, was that. More of a story, it's like Book Talk's favorite right now. If you are on the fantasy side of Book Talk, you have heard the words Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Everybody's obsessed. Everybody's saying it's a 5-star read. So I was going into it wanting a 5-star read. I was going into it expecting the experience that Fourth Wing gave me. Because Fourth Wing was so crazily hyped up in a way that I've never seen in my lifetime before happen with a book. Like literally went viral like a freaking Aritzia top. That's how viral Fourth Wing went. And in my opinion, it was well deserved. I ate that book up like an apple pie on Thanksgiving. No crumbs, no crumbs. Like, you know, this isn't a Fourth Wing review. Moral of the story is that Fourth Wing had a lot of Book Talk hype. And in my opinion, on my rating scale, Fourth Wing led up to that hype. This book, I feel like, has had a lot of hype, but in my opinion, okay, just my opinion, it didn't live up to the hype that was created. I want to acknowledge how cool it is that this is Lauren Roberts' debut novel. I believe she just turned 21. All right, girly pop is younger than me, okay? She wrote this book when she was 18. I can't imagine myself as an 18-year-old out of high school, like writing a book. I wanted to write them, but I never actually sat down, had the dedication, had my thoughts all put together to actually write a book. That needs to be commended. It's very commendable. I don't know. That's like a really fire cool thing. She wrote this thing when she was 18. She's 21 now. She self-published it. She grinded this thing out. And just for that, like that aspect, 5 stars. 5 stars for a dedicated author that knew what they wanted to do, that ran with it, and that did it all on their own, published it on their own without the help from a publishing company. Like 5 stars for that. So now that I've given you that context, I feel okay with the rating that I've given this book, because I don't expect an 18-year-old girl to write groundbreaking fiction. I just don't expect it. I don't expect myself to write groundbreaking fiction. It's just, especially as a first book, we have to learn as books go on and on and on and on. I think that's an important setup for any rating, is realizing this is Lauren Roberts' debut novel. It was written when she was 18. Let's remember that. Now, getting into the rating. This will be no spoilers, okay, by the way. This is just like general context. So I explained to you the plot of Powerless before. Moral of story is there's this girl named Peyton. Peyton is from the slums. Now, that is Peyton's main personality trait. Okay, this is getting a little bit less into describing the actual story and more into my personal opinion. So let me just explain the freaking story without my opinions. Peyton is from the slums. Peyton is from the slums. Peyton gets picked to fight in these trials for the kingdom with these people called elites, because we're in a world where the elites are people with magic and there are ordinaries who have gone extinct, and the elites have a trial to show powers, and Peyton gets picked to be in it. And then we have Kai. Now, because keeping in mind this is a dual POV, I think we're supposed to put these characters as the same level, so like they're both main characters. We have Kai. Kai is a prince. He is an elite. He is a prince. He's also like an enforcer, which is kind of like another word for just like the head of a military. That's basically what I see him at. He's like the head military, kind of like assassin type. He kills a lot of people. He's killed a lot of people. He's also in the trials. That's all the rundown you really need of the book. And my review with the 3.5 stars comes in for many reasons. Let's start with the good. The good was that I liked Stop. No, I'm really not trying to be like ironic or silly and goofy. Like, I'm taking this seriously, y'all. I'm thinking. I'm not trying to like make a jab. I think I liked the powers. I think the powers were really cool. I think I like biological magic type beat. Like, it was very like mutant but not mutant type vibe, very kinetic ability type vibe, which I enjoy. But anyways, so let's get into my quandaries, my qualms. First qualm, and I should have wrote down notes because I don't want to forget anything, but first qualm that I have, and I feel like a lot of people had as well, was this book kind of felt like a combination of a lot of tropes. So like, the book was kind of marketed as like, it has your enemies to lovers, it has who did this to you trope, it has knife to the throat romance, it has, I forgot the other ones. But basically like the biggest like selling point was the tropes. And a lot of authors do this. Like, it's a thing that's like really, it's done in romantasy. Like, romantasy is about selling the romantic tropes. We want people to want to read their favorite trope. However, these characters fell into a sticky situation where they were kind of just walking tropes. Our main guy, Kai, read to me like a walking, morally gray, arrogant, bad boy trope that I didn't really understand why he was that way, and it was kind of like explained to me and it was told to me, like this whole tragic past. But then I was just confused because his feelings just felt so immediate. So I'm like, wait, but it's not adding up to me. That like, what made this girly pop? I was just suspended in a lot of disbelief. There was a lot of disbelief and moments where I had to just be like, okay, like it just look past that. Like, there was a lot of moments where I was like, why would this happen? Why would a character do this? And I kind of just had to like look past it. So the entirety of Kai's character, I kind of just had to look past why he was doing certain things, because it kind of went against his entire backstory, essentially. Then Peyton. Now, a lot of people that I've seen in reviews have said this. Peyton falls into the sticky quicksand that a lot of YA novel female leads fall into. Okay, it's not just Peyton, but the kind of I have no flaws issue. Peyton has no flaws. There's literally nothing wrong with Peyton other than the fact that she's an ordinary. But we're told from the beginning that because the ordinary are oppressed for no reason, that there's really nothing wrong with being an ordinary other than the government has it out for the ordinaries. So the one thing that's supposed to make Peyton flawed for, we never believe that she's actually flawed for, because we know it's just like a perception that the government is trying to push, but like, we're not meant to believe that. So she essentially has no flaws. And if her flaw is meant to be like the namesake of the book, powerlessness, Peyton is never actually powerless. I never believed for one moment that Peyton was ever going to be in imminent harm. Never for one moment. And I think that's what kind of made it, I never really connected with her or like had a moment to really connect, because I never questioned whether she was gonna like win a fight, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody that's main issue in the world is that they're powerless against these superhero people, she was always beating people up. She was always winning. And it just was hard for me to believe. It was just a little bit hard for me to believe most of the time that she would actually legitimately win. And that was kind of like a struggle for me, okay? I think a lot of the characters just fell into that issue of like fitting in the tropes. I would say, what what brought the book up by like 3 stars, right? For me, My favorite character, Kit. I love Kit. I love Kit so much. And any interaction that our main characters had with Kit, I was just falling more and more in love. And I think it is because I don't believe that the author went into this book having a trope in mind for Kit. I think it's clear that there was a trope in mind for our main characters, Kai and Peyton. They need this rivals to lovers banter that kind of becomes their entire personality. So a lot of the things that they said to each other felt unrealistic just to kind of uphold this kind of like rivals banter. The banter also lasted kind of all the 500 pages and we kind of never shifted. We never shifted and it kind of stayed the same note of the same banter. Like we got repetitions of the same thing. Kai was kind of repeating the same stuff just in different fonts, and then so was she. So the banter fell flat for me because I normally love angst. But I think the reason angst works is because it builds and there's really that like tension of like, will they, won't they? There wasn't really that tension I felt here. Every conversation, I understood what the goal was trying to do. Now, Kit was just Kit. He was just a person, a human that felt like a very fully fleshed out character, and I really want more of him in the second book because I think that there could be so much depth and nuance to his character. Like maybe we're supposed to root for Kit, maybe we're not. I will root for Kit. I will die on that hill. I feel like he has so much complexity. I found that his conversations with our main characters felt the most natural, felt the most human, and he just felt like he had the most personality, and I loved him. I loved him so, so much. Now, I understand that this book is a romantasy. And like Fourth Ring, I think the interesting thing about romantasies, because I think we're in our romantasy era. Everybody is down for a romantasy. I think ACOTAR really like rose that resurgence, and then Fourth Wing really solidified it. Where it's like, people love this idea of these high stakes romance with the backdrop of like a cool fantasy world with magic and dragons. Because like, who doesn't love that vibe? Now, I enjoy a good romantasy. But I think it's hard for me sometimes because I get frustrated because I also really love world building and understanding a world and being very fulfilled when I feel like thrusted into a world. And I just had a lot of moments where I was confused why certain things were happening. Like, why are there trials? I was confused why there were trials in the first place. Like, the author said that this book is like kind of comped as like the Hunger Games meets the Red Queen. And the Hunger Games aspect is supposed to be the trials. But the reasoning for the Hunger Games trials is like very clear. Like, it's like, we have these trials where we take the people from the districts, and it's kind of a reminder to never revolt against the capital because this is how much power we have. But also it's meant to be as a distracting entertainment system for the people in the capital to be like, oh, don't look at how poorly we're treating the districts, because look at this. If we just throw them in the games and entertain them and then give the winner a bunch of riches and money, nobody has to be upset. That's kind of the point and why the Hunger Games is continuing. I never understood the point of these trials. Because like, if the ordinaries are all, cause like if the elites are like this highly coveted, like the king is so proud of this elite race that he's upheld. I'm just confused why he's wants them to fight to the death. I'm just confused. I'm confused on the motivation behind the trials. Point A. I'm also confused. What was I confused by? See, I just be forgetting stuff. What was I confused by? One of the things that was just like a little bit of a pet peeve for me, like I said in the beginning, Peyton's main personality trait is kind of that she's from the slums. That's kind of like her that's supposed to be our biggest selling point. And I was just like, I don't know, part of it was just like, part of it just made me cringe a little bit. Like, it just made me cringe a little bit. I feel so bad for saying like something made me cringe, because like, I know authors put a lot of work into it, so it's like everything is just my opinion. But she was having a conversation at one moment, and she was like, you know, someone was like, you know, like asking about her home, and she was like, oh, well, the slums are a da-da-da-da. And I was like, now hear me out. Me living in Brooklyn, if I knew I lived in a little interesting part of Brooklyn, a little interesting, little scary ghetto part of Brooklyn, I don't think I would be walking around saying, yeah, I'm from the ghettos. I'm from the ghettos. But I guess people do that. I guess people are like, I'm from the trenches. But when people say I'm from the trenches, I laugh. Cause what are you talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't know. Was it just me? I don't know if it was just me. Final statements. What else would I have to say? I feel like the rebellion aspect of this book was interesting because it just felt slightly unbelievable of what a like freedom fighting militant resistance group would actually do. Because as somebody that's seen a lot of freedom fighting militant resistant groups and has read about them a lot, it just felt very much like a interesting perspective to take on a kind of revolution, like a very interesting like non-violent coded type of, I don't know, okay? I'm done. Okay, that's it. I think those are all of my notes. Those are all of my thoughts. Again, it's still iconic that this girl wrote this at 18. This is her debut novel. There's only up from here. There's only growth. A lot of people's debut novels are questionable. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. And also, I'm scared because I know a lot of people literally said this is their favorite book of 2023. And this is what I love about the book community, is that we have this general understanding that like books are so specific to people, like it's so specific that it's really okay if like people don't like the same book, you know? So like I completely understand that people love this book. I think I'm a little bit set up in a bad predicament because the first book that ever got me like really into my booktube era was the Throne of Glass series. Okay. I would classify that as some of the best world building I've seen for YA. That was like my first bar. So everything else has kind of just fallen under that. And it's hard for me to kind of like replicate those feelings. So it might just be me. And my bar for like world building is like way too high. And like my bar for like it's too high. Again, I give it 3.5 stars. If you guys read it, please let me know what you rated it down below. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions because I want to know. I really want to know. I feel like this is an interesting one because I feel like it's very mixed. Some people are like, absolutely not. Some people are literally like, this is better than Fourth Wing. And I'm like, I don't see that, but interesting that you say that. Okay, tell me more. Let me know your thoughts, please. The fact that it took me an entire video to just read one book and it took me an entire week and it's taken me 20 minutes to talk about one book is just interesting to me. I wanted to tell you guys two things before I let you go, so don't leave. These are very important announcements. First thing, I want to do more like bookish type videos. Obviously, like I don't want to dedicate my entire channel to like booktube because one of my biggest issues, like we're seeing, I'm a slow reader. So some of my favorite booktubers can literally bang out an entire book in a day. I can't. Something about my brain, I just read slow. I read really slow. So normally it does take me to a week to finish like a 500 page book. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a little bit unrealistic for me to do like the traditional booktube where I'm like banging out all of these. Like I feel like I want to do booktube, but I feel like I might be a little bit boring because it takes me forever to do one book. Like in my monthly wrap up for this month, there's gonna be 2 books. I read 2 books. That's it, for 2 books. But I am interested in doing more book videos. And one book video that I want to do is like reading the entire Hunger Games series, okay? Because a lot of us are back in our Snowman's on top. Snowman's on top. Okay. Snowman's on top. So I thought that would be like a fun video, but I just wanted your guys' opinions on if you would want to see that, because it would be like an entire dedicated video, kind of like when I did the Throne of Glass reading video, which that was like the most fun I have ever had, but I was just freaked out if people would actually be interested in watching it. To quell my insecurities, just let me know. Like, put a vote. Like, somebody put a comment and then be like this if you want to see a reading the entire Hunger Games series video, and then I'll kind of take that vote to see if I should do it or if I should just keep my mouth shut. To add on to the bookish things, I would like to start a book club with you guys. I want to hear your thoughts, because like we could even like start it in January. We could start it in the new year. Basically, I want to do a book club where we as a community, we read one book for the month. Okay, like we pick the book. So like I can put up polls on my Instagram or on the community tab here, and I can ask you guys. We could figure out a way where we could vote on the book that we're reading. Like we could pick the genre. Like I could maybe have you guys vote on like the genre, and then like from the genre, then I pick a list of like popular ones or something like that, or unpopular ones. Like I could do like one popular, one unpopular, and then one like new release, and then I have you guys vote from there. So that's like very involved. Like you can help pick, and then from there we have like a full month to read the book, because I think it takes me a week. It took me a week to read this one, so I think a full month to like get us all reading it, and then we do like a live chat. So like I can go live on here or on TikTok. We could decide, and it'll be at the end of the month. It'll be like a specific date, and you've all would have read the book of the month, and we discuss like a book club, but it'll be for us. I just think that would be a cool vibe, because I just love talking about books with people, but sometimes I don't find people that have read the same books that I've read. So I think it would just be really fun for us to all know that we've literally just read the same book, and we're coming on to chat with everybody else about the book. So 2 things you're letting me know about down in the comments. 3 things, actually. Did you read Powerless? What did you rate Powerless? What are your thoughts? Okay. 2nd thing, would you like to see a Hunger Games entire reading video? 3rd thing, how do you feel about book club? Would you join? Would you participate? Thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for tuning in, as usual. Thanks for putting up with my craziness, with my rants, with my inability to close my mouth. Thank you, and good night. Good night.